Ah, pedal cam hasn't turned on yet. Come on, pedal cam. Oh, I forgot the lamp. Oh, I forgot to turn on the lamp. Now it's very dark down there. Give me a sec. So we need content manager launched, and then we need also the well, it seems like close -gp. I don't need this tab anymore. Oh, hello there. You're back. I don't expect you. But well, welcome. I can say I have fixed actually the slight bug that was with my leaderboards that when I left the sessions or joined other sessions that the leaderboard would not clear cars that were in the previous session in there. I've solved this finally. Realized what the bug was. Oh, I'm an idiot by the way. Oops. I launched the game in the wrong mode. Because I was testing earlier. Let me favorite. Okay, doesn't want to need to let me favorite. Can I access this thing? Let me pull this. Okay. So mode VR setup. It's very funny that my newest mapping for AC is still from June 2021, but that's when I got my pedals. So let's join the server there. Without mute mode, right, without VR mode, which that's a major oof. I can put street tires on, I guess, in case I'm driving a bit too far. You could even put 90 street tires in case you want to know if you suffer really. And UBS, no TEC it seems, and you can put more rear wing on there. Brake power is maximum, but you cannot move the brake bias, right? We do want to move the perspective a bit. Check briefly up and I'd seen. Yes, well, I've come up actually for a solution for me not starting up, starting races again without having the right scene, and it would be relatively simple. That it's every time I switch scenes, technically there would be a pop-up on that middle bar and that overlay, and I could just make that permanent while I'm not in the correct scene. Would not be. Would need a bit of code, but how I have now the Easy Script plugin, I can just write that code once and not have to deal with it ever again. Oh, wait, that's my left side mirror. I think that's fine. Center mirror. Slightly down, I think. Maybe right as well. Yep, that's good. Right side mirror. I think that is perfect. Right. Seating position is good. Slight ditch back. So. Right then. Okay. Let's just set up free. I mean, this covers up the mirror, so. Where can I put you? Because I need you somewhere. I guess you go on the beam here, and the reason that I can, I guess, go over here. guess that works. Hold on. Searching. Yeah, I mean, I'm relatively familiar with SimHub. And although I have plugins that have been in works for like weeks. And there's like, in some plugins, like, oh gosh, no, I don't think hundreds of hours. But yeah, I have a lot of things that I just like make myself to solve problems. And that's definitely too late of a breaking point. Like from my wooden rig to like my entire VTuber model, which I made myself. Like that's one of the most time intensive things. Like I probably spend... Did I spend Nah, I don't think I spent 100 hours on it, but like 50 hours probably of work on it. Mainly because I wanted in Blender to touch up certain things quite intensely. Because if you start off in VROID with a male model and you want to remodel it to look very feminine, it does take a while. So that's where a lot of the time went. But if you... something like, oh yeah, you want a relatively generic female model, like that is... not particularly as much of a problem. And yeah. I mean, there's also some very long nights that have gone in on the code base of some projects. I mean, easy trip included. I mean, the new overlay and stuff, that is not completely written by me. I did use just a code base from someone else. For mainly, it's mainly built for ACC. But through my modifications here, it is able to run in AC mode, or technically every other game that SimHub supports. Just in adding certain additions to allow the ACC mode, for example, to continue running when you do a driver swap. Because SimHub disconnects when you do a driver swap, because it doesn't receive any more driving data from ACC. It just receives the broadcasting data, but it's not reading the broadcasting data when you're just driving. You could switch ACC into spectating mode, but you get less and worse telemetry, so it's like, in general. So you should just stay in driving mode. Okay, second only, so someone is faster than me. Yeah, Jordan Nixon, unsurprisingly. He's here, so that means I have to actually work. Which language do you use mostly? C#, because I have to admit, mainly I write SimHub plugins. I end up writing a lot of SimHub plugins, so I have used a lot of C#. First language I've learned is Java. C# is not particularly far from it. I have the what is it called? The ACC setup manager I've written. That's written in Rust, of all things. It's like, why the hell would you write something like that in Rust? It's like, well, I want this thing packaged into a single executable, and Python doesn't work well for that. And kind of C# can do that, but I can also with C#, you technically also need .NET runtime environments, which most people have, so it's like a basically non-issue. Especially if you use SimHub, like anybody who uses SimHub has .NET runtime libraries. I think also Crew Chief needs .NET runtime libraries, so you effectively have every sim racer out there has probably .NET runtime libraries installed. Makes it rather simple in that sense. I don't know why I'm missing my first the downshift into turn 1. It's really weird for me. I don't quite understand why that's happening. Hey, there seems to be a massive gap from P1 to everyone else, considering I have now improved by quite a lot. Yeah, I've used quite a bit of .NET. I've not done that much JavaScript in all honesty. You know, that's the language of the internet. Funny thing is, I haven't actually been contacted by someone interested in writing another Sigma plugin. That was what I mentioned, like in the previous stream, with the ability to have one button do multiple things, depending on in which mode you've put it for pressing another button. Yeah, that's that guy's idea. I might just turn it into one. I have to see, but probably first I will do actually my... Yep. Ooh! Hello there! But first I will try perhaps doing the macro pad in my headset. That might be a pretty decent idea. Doing something hardware related. On the coding side, I want to definitely... There's two things. My OBS plugin, because the OBS WebSocket, I've been using version 4 of the WebSocket, and they did do some breaking changes with version 5, but when I wrote the plugin, the version 5 had basically just about launched. Was just about to launch effectively, and was, I think, just released when I finished it. And the .NET implementation for the other side of the WebSocket just wasn't there yet, so I didn't want to wait or anything. I just released the plugin instead. And the thing that has happened since then is also that the OBS WebSocket plugin has become part of OBS itself, so you don't need a plugin anymore on the OBS side to have a WebSocket, which is really neat. Which means I can just... but that means with version 28 of OBS, I should most likely update my WebSocket as well, my side of the plugin. Maybe see if the .NET implementation exists, has been updated, because it wasn't particularly well maintained. I mean, there was somebody working on it, but it's just like he was working on it on the level that I was working on my plugins. Which is like not saying particularly too much about maintaining a API there. That's no judgment. He's doing it free of charge in his free time. I'm doing my stuff in my free time. It's like, sure, he can do whatever. It's like, sure. He's doing a free service here, and I have to just see if he's continued maintaining. Fuck. If he's continued maintaining it, so I know if I can rely on it or if I have to do something myself. Okay, yeah. But we're second in front of Jordan. Awesome. And oh yeah, I've also written some. I mean, I haven't done much JavaScript, I say, but like that. Also, I've used a lot of JavaScript and NCalc within my SimHub dashboard. So I've used some JavaScript, but I've not like really used JavaScript. This JavaScript you use there is like actually scripting and not programming. Because you can do quite some genuine programming with JavaScript. Right, we have qualifying now. Jesus Christ, I'll just slam dunk the competition during qualifying. Yeah, I guess what we could do, just to level the playing field, is put street tires on. It's just like, I guess that could be a bit fair. What lap times were we doing in the previous session? 150s. 149s, obviously. Estimated laps 10. Yeah, I think that's a bit short on fuel for the race. But 14, I guess. Let's just see how actually the street tires perform, because it would be interesting to see. I find it quite interesting how like I'm dominant here with this car track combo compared to the others. Yeah, I was on semi-slicks because the setup comes per default with semi-slicks. Oh god. 2 missed gears immediately. But yeah, the car per default comes with semi-slicks, so everybody is on semi-slicks. Even if you didn't touch the setup. I did mention earlier that when looking at the setup initially that you can have street tire semi-slicks, you can have street tires, and you can have 90 street tires. I just put the street tires on and we're gonna see how they perform. If they're too slow, I'm just gonna put normal tires on. Or if Jordan takes the sandbags finally off. I know, in case he's watching that back and is like, well, I was going all speed and I couldn't do anything more. It's like, I'm sorry. I assume always that everybody else has some magic speed at the end of the day. Because it's usually what happens. I mean, it does look slower. But also not that much slower. Still probably get this into the 50s. Couldn't say these up. But also, I mean, didn't do that many mistakes really either on the outlap. Brakes are pretty decent in this car. I mean, it's a pretty good sports car. That's interesting from your watching perspective. I mean, I think I can definitely tell it's probably going slightly slower, but also AC is very aggressive with timer warm. With that you need to warm your tires up, otherwise you don't get any performance out of them. I guess what it also could be that it's just there's less grip on the rear end, so I can get the car sideways on the entry more. But I didn't actually notice that much of a difference really. Alright, let's see what we get. 51. I mean, they're definitely slower. We have to see. They might just take some time to get up to temperatures and stuff. If that's the case, then we just have to wait a bit. Definitely the semi-slicks took their time. Not sure that is completely realistic because you oftentimes with the... I've heard in real life with street spec tires you get really a few good laps and then the tire drops off. And then stays at that position. Because they basically just get way too hot, but then you just drive on the hot rubber and it's fine. Okay, Jordan Nixon 49.2. Okay, I think I need to swap to the semi-slicks then. Because he has basically put in a lap that is comparable to me on the previous session. So yeah, he was sandbagging. I mean, I'm getting quicker, but like... I don't think that's gonna be enough, Chief. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting only like 3/10 in this lap. Right, it's okay. We have not long actually to do a good lap. To pits. Right. We also take some fuel out of the car and put the semi-slicks back on. And oh yeah, we have a lot of yellow RX7s because everybody's like, ooh, literally. I mean, I'm driving also a yellow one. Although, I have to say, I did pick the B version of this, the B version of the yellow livery. Which means my front splitter is black. Not sure which one is technically the accurate one. Fuck me! Oh god! Okay, now this is serious. I've wasted my time in this session. Jordan has been sandbagging. It is completely clear. And he now means business. I was irritated by how much I was leading, and it's like that something wasn't quite right there. And sure enough, something wasn't right. And that was Jordan's pace. Yeah, he's putting in statements. But it means that I still need to gain about 3 seconds on my lap time, which is even for me an ask. Okay, that's not it. Okay, that's not the best line for the Aida. I say I need to gain 3 seconds, promptly lose time actually, instead of gaining it. Man. And now I'm overdriving the car. The only thing that can save me is the fact these tires do take, as said, quite the time to get up to operating pressures and everything. And the twisty stuff you really do notice in terms of the delta, how it's going up for me. Yeah, these semi-slicks are like significantly quicker. Yeah. In that section, like 1.5 seconds just gain the last twisty sector. Slow my turn one is pretty meh. Right, that's more like it. I still need quite a lot of time. Oh man, I don't think there's that much more time in the final sector in it. Oh, and this is the final lap as well. Just noticed. I'm not gonna have another attempt after this. This has to sit. I say that while I get a massive slide. Miss another apex there. Lost time more. Not good. It's not gonna be enough. Yeah, not enough. 7/10 down in the end on him. There's definitely time still in that lap. Definitely still time in there. So I'm not too it's still... That is just like snap back to reality. I guess that should be fine on fuel load. Half a second actually. And fuck me, that's quick from him. The fastest time in general is like 2/10 faster in sector 1, 1.7 in sector 2, and 2/10 in sector 3. Compared to the best lap. Okay, I think I have everything I want. Semi-slick tires. Right, first gear engaged. Ooh, just playing right up against the edge there for me. Right up against the edge again of the gravel trap there. Okay, he's late off the late breakers. Slight tap there. Although I think I more lost the car under power than actually under his tab. And we have wrestled our way past him. The infamous Jordan versus me in AC fights. In all honesty, I have a relatively good track record of beating him, so maybe he will finally turn us around in the land of the weeps. Who knows? Well, capping him slightly. Very slightly. I'm actually braking a bit early, just because I overshot it once. This is also usual. I'm relatively good at the starts in AC races and pull away. And then once things get into the swing, my opponents start coming back on me, so nothing unusual going on here. This corner invites so much late braking, but like, you easily can outbrake yourself there. It's kind of tricky in that sense. We're slowly escaping from him. It's a bit sad that we have a relatively small grid tonight. I've heard the Skip Barber race was a lot of fun, but I don't know if they actually had a bigger grid than this. Maybe they had, maybe they didn't. Who knows? And also it's a bit like, well, the two drivers are really quick and the rest is just like, we just came here for the scenery, you know? It's fine, I guess. It's only a 20-minute race, so at most we're gonna lap them once. If at all. This series here of two hairpins. I know this track is a base game content piece for iRacing, but I've driven it in RF2 actually. A few times. I liked it. Although I think I didn't perform particularly too well on it. And now he's starting to talk business again. Answering back up with a 47.8. Well, I dropped off in the last sector. I was on for a pretty solid time, but my final sector wasn't as good. But he's starting to come into his own. And we're just ahead of the halfway point. I find that just very interesting. Like how consistent across cars and everything that behavior is of just, I'm not the quickest in qualifying, I'm relatively solid, I'm really quick at the start of the race, and then I drop, oh, I can't go faster anymore. Well, the others continue to go faster and suddenly start closing back in on me. Oh, there's people going through turn 1, turn 2 sections while we are. Okay. Well, I mean, the gearbox doesn't like it, but it worked. Because I forgot to actually gear shift, so I was like, oh fuck, I forgot to gear shift, so I just slammed the gear in, and because I was off throttle, the thing went in. I think he's really good for this final section here. I think this is where he really stretches his legs for the double hairpin section. It's being said that always that really the pace comes out of the slow speed corners. The difference between a fast driver and a slow driver is mainly the pace in slow corners. And sure, to the really slow drivers it's also the pace for high speed corners, because they oftentimes don't have the balls for them, but it comes from like not new, but the real skill difference is the slower speed corner. He made their mistake then. That's definitely a mistake from him. Also very interesting how we continually find each other on track. I feel like my tires are maybe dropping off, I don't know. Because I'm definitely struggling with the final sector there. Twisty stuff, I can just not quite extract more pace out of it. First sector I'm going faster than before, but it's very interesting. It's actually something interesting I just realized. This is an FD, which is used in Initial D. Initial D makes a relatively big deal about the ABS system on the Nissan GTR. Stage 1 at least. I've not watched the other stages. But it's not mentioned really with the FD, that the FD also has ABS. Although, oh yeah, right, the FD is the first boss, I think, initially. Gets bested in, I'm terrible with names, but like, younger of the Takahashi brothers gets bested in the first episode in the infamous inertia drift scene. Once he gets bested there, he appears, I think, like quite a few episodes later when we have that first battle on the Turkey. I guess it wasn't mentioned then because would just would complicate things. And it's just the RX7 already enough of a threat of hyping our enemies up. Because initially it's very much a battle shonen. So I kind of like didn't like about stage 1 because I could really predict where the hell like scene went. Although I did relatively new to anime at the time. Say relative. A handful of shows I think at that point under my belts already. Actually for I mean I'm talking a lot of Initial D, but he's closing in. Should probably stop. Yeah, I've continued to not. Probably need to put that on my agenda to watch the other stages. Oh god. I'm driving off the road there. Now he is actually close. I need to focus. Yeah, I do need copies from Initial D at some point. Would be a fine addition to my totally legally acquired collection of anime. Oh fuck. What? F. That's a very pathetic way of losing the lead here. For me, F. Oh god. I mean, I didn't break that late, but I guess just mentally pushing the breaking point a bit later, and it's just the difference between making the corner easily and just completely flying off. And he's just gapping me completely there. Oh, that's a bit sideways there. my man. I mean, I'm not completely out of it, but it's hard to get back by him in 3 minutes. I did not have any acceleration in comparison to him there. I was really able to carry the momentum there. Because we're on the same car, duh. There's no like massive outbraking maneuvers you can really do. Although I did gain a bit on him there. Despite that my line wasn't particularly great. Problem is, the next sector he's just so much quicker than me for some reason. He just has that sector so much down. He just runs away from me here. Oh no, oh shit, this corner. God damn it, it's really annoying how I lost there. Because I wasn't paying attention. So pathetic for me to lose. Well played to him, I guess. There's one more lap to go. I don't think we'll do another one. And I'm miles now back, actually. He just has that little extra and it's kinda annoying to go up against. I still don't understand how I overshot there because I broke basically the same as always. But I guess I need to lose once in a while. He deserves to win against me once, at least. And he just was quicker than me. Plain and simple. I just did not have the pace. I don't think I've ever gone actually sub 48. In the end, he did multiple sub 48s. We have a race there to take revengeance on now. Oh, you can just shortcut here. I see. Well done. There's no invisible walls, I guess. Oh, that's a bit of an F. Let's see if that's set up. See, I mean, how much can we actually change on this thing, really? Some camber adjustments, some toe adjustments, brake power, that sort of thing. He increased the rear tire pressures. 20 liters of fuel. And increase the front camber for sure. Lots of changes he did. Ah, he left the server before I could answer. Oh well, we have another race to go. So, race 2. We have to have our vengeance there. Although, Christ, him going 47.5s at this point is... that's fun. That's fun. Totally. It's not like I'm slightly going insane over that. Okay, the server is starting to launch right now. Actually, head off the server switch. Right, okay. So, do we have... Oh, come on, finish launching so we can actually play on the server. I mean, on the topic of anime, as I was talking a lot about it, I definitely need to start watching some... catching up on my seasonal anime because I'm really backlogged on that stuff. Oh man, I'm really badly backlogged on it. Actually, it is on 28. Was that the... No, that is default. I'm scrolling right now through. Oh, there's toe out on the rear? The car has toe out on the rear. By default. Can I have my cursor? Please stop eating my cursor for fuck's sakes. You know, I'm tapping into the other window and it's like, nah, we're not recognizing you being in this window. Yeah, we can definitely just load the Jordan setup, I guess. That did 5. Yep. So, right, we're gonna put 3 tires on. I'm gonna use this set. Welcome back. I unfortunately lost race 1. Both of us driving out to see how. I ended up losing race 1 unfortunately to him. He put pressure on me and then I overshot the hairpin at the end of the straightaway and could not pass him in the next 2 laps again. But we've just agreed upon not passing it, both starting from the back, and we're gonna race on street tires. I see. So you still saw that. I assume when you said I'm back that you would. Yeah, I think the RX7 is just a very solid car to drive, and that's not me being like, oh, weeaboo, it's this great car. It's like, I think it's a solid pair of wheels. Obviously has its flaws in terms of like, well, apex seals, bitch. Feels like he's actually outrunning me right now again. Okay. I mean, he's gonna probably go towards the line here. And actually put a practice time in. Minutes 15. 3 minutes 39, okay. Yeah, that's it. Fuel consumption is terrible. It has a bunch of issues and probably I don't know if it rusts a lot. Like, actually driving this thing in real life probably isn't that great. Like, driving experience is great. The rest of the experience probably isn't that great. You have to be some massive JDM fanboy to be like, yeah, I would like to make this thing today, dude. Definitely sounds like a terrible idea. It's a daily and rotary. In a over 20-year-old car at this point. In case I don't make you feel old enough. But yes, he's definitely actually drawn out on me, so it's gonna be hilarious fun in terms of passing the entire field. Although, I think I'd start at the back of the grid with, what, 4 or 5 people is not gonna make much of a difference. Well, I say he's drawn away massively, it's like I lost a 10th on that lap. Oh well. Okay, we have 5 people. It's gonna be fun. I wanna put extra fuel in. Also, it's not that particularly low on fuel consumption. So we have a bit of downtime now because we have 12 minutes of qualifying where I'm not gonna qualify. I don't know. Here's the eaters, bro. Just because the car's 20 years old doesn't mean it's bad. It's just, you know, the problem is it is a thing that was constructed 20 years ago, and parts on this car will just fail at some point, and you end up with I don't know which Greek is it where is it still the same ship if you replaced all the parts on it? Sort of a problem. And because this thing hasn't been in production in 20 years, you can't really get like parts anymore for it either. So you're just stuck with a car that doesn't do anything anymore. Also, Jordan, you're actually out on the track. I guess we'll just wait till he puts a time in and then I'm gonna also do one. Otherwise I'm just gonna sit here. I guess we could just spectate him for a minute. So yeah, you do have to with like effectively a historic car at this point. Actually, at which point is a car declared historic? I think 30 years, 25, depends on the country, state, and your mother's maiden name or something as well. It's just so undefined at times. But like this car definitely is approaching that age. You can count it as a quote-unquote young timer. I don't know if that's a term that is familiar in the English language. I mean, it is an English term technically, but it's like it's a term that is referring to definitely a thing in Germany to refer to cars that aren't quite old timers yet. Historics, so they refer to them. So John Nixon just drove very closely past the pit lane there. Interesting stuff. Yeah, he's put some sort of lap time in. You're a bit sideways there. I guess he thought that I think he didn't understand that we would do both. Because I thought we were going to do both, because yeah. Let's put the car into neutral. I mean, that's also the thing with like all the cars we people in my age group, like the cars from my youth is like, yeah, technically they're actually 90s cars, are not actually 2000 cars really, funnily enough, like the Supra and things like that are being older actually than you might think. So if you played the racing games in the early 2000s, it's just like, okay, he spins out here. And returns the bits. Okay. Well done. I didn't quite choose that, but let's just watch this guy. What do we watch him? What time did he put in? 51.9. That's not actually too bad. Oh. Wait a second. Can I? Huh? It feels like I'm operating the positions with the shift that time, but like at other times it doesn't. I guess I just light tap. Yeah, light tap most likely. When I put my finger back on the trackpad. Shit, bird loves clean. Hilbo. Oh, whatever. Let's just hope that Ryan can put a clean lap together. I mean, he has another 7 minutes or so to do that. Jeff has at least. Oh, I mean, this lap is probably not gonna go particularly fast. Wait, those inputs, like, they look like controller. That definitely looks like a controller. Ryan Clark is definitely looking like he's driving a controller. That's not even an improvement. Yeah, 2 minutes 54. Oops. Come on. We believe in you. Can demonstrate that the controller is really good. Yeah, nice save there. I mean, he is at times doing these like, yeah, I mean, such yeet inputs are just look like controller for me. But he does do some gradual inputs at times, so my guess is that he actually is driving on controller, not on keyboard, due to that. Because he does do some minor adjustments. Some minors you can like effectively do on a controller. And his lines aren't terrible either. Oh, and then he gets snap. No. Snap oversteer there. Would it be evil if I said I drove a lap, nearly a complete lap on a keyboard around this track when I took the thumbnail? It would probably be evil to say at this point. And it was barring the last corner actually clean. Actually doing not terribly when I drive on a controller. On a keyboard. It was a bit impressive. And also mouse, if you have the option for mouse steering, that is actually halfway competitive. You can genuinely do quite some cool stuff. Because just keyboard can end up in a situation like that where you just end up out of steering lock because the speed sensitive scaling is not working properly. Oh man, please, dude. This improves. It was an invalid lap, that was the problem. He got invalidated for running off the course there. Otherwise it would have been enough. When it's off the pace massively, but you know. I don't know what lap time I would have gotten because I drove only about a lap. I didn't drive a flyer. Boone Charles with a 49.8. If they carry that speed into the race, they might actually be, you know, fast enough to challenge us. Because I have my doubts if we're gonna go sub 50 with the street tires at that point. I know I have... How far did I get them down on the previous qualifying session? To... What was it? I think... Was I not 50? I think it was a 50.8 that I got in. You can hit. I believe in you. Lap shift. No, don't overshoot this corner. You should get. And that's a clean lap together. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? And it's a 54. Nicely done. Not too bad. Not too bad. But also demotes Jordan down finally. Although he is technically on a different starting row than me. I don't think that matters too much. This guy still needs to put in a valid time that is competitive with the other guy. He was able to put a 50.8 together, but it wasn't a valid lap, so he can improve a bit. Jeff Jones here. Oh, now it gets dark. Ooh. He put some wheels into the grass, and that ruined his lap. This lap is done, but he should have enough time to get around again and start another one, I think. He put a purple first sector in there this lap. Man, this sucks. To have done that tail step out like that. He very interesting how he stays second gear. Maybe it makes sense to go actually down to second again for that car, because I just carry third for it, and that might just not be quicker because I'm out of the rev range. Yeah, he's 2 seconds off the pace than in sector 2. I mean, it's probably still enough for an improvement, because he was so fast in sector 1. I don't know, I mean, this ruined Charles also his current sectors. Is that actually life delta? Or is that... Oh, he did not improve actually, he went worse. Yeah, I think that's actually a life delta to his own lap. That's an interesting side fact, but... So... 26, so a 10th off, but that's fine. He's matching himself down to the 10th or something, or Delta's an accurate. I guess it speaks from consistency. That's the sort of consistency you don't want, to be consistently slow. Ah, the usual. Gain a bit of time there. That's completely off the apex though. And that's no time gained. Yeah. Yeah, see you next stream. Okay, well then, bye bye. He did actually improve to a 51. Wow, wow, wow. See you then next time. I mean, I'm gonna end it after obviously the next race. It's getting a bit cold in here. And I didn't think I was gonna say that in summer, but it seems to not be particularly that warm. Right, okay. I'm gonna take some more fuel, I think, just to not run out of it. I don't know how much I finished the previous race, but just, you know, you don't want to run out of fuel. It just doesn't sit well. That doesn't add coolant light. What else do we have? We have the boost pressure on the gauges here. We have an RPM meter, we have a speed meter. We have also a kilometer rate, tachometer there. Oh man, little place is actually pretty cold. It's pretty cold outside. Alright, okay, first gear. Jordan's a bit wide there. That's a bit bullying from me. That's not nice for me. Basically bully the other guy out of the way. Jordan is lifting off here. Oh man, he's continuing to gap me just for this section here. It's kind of even worse than when we had semi-slick still. That guy's off, and it took literally us a lap to get by the entire field. Oh well, oh well. Only issue is Jordan is now in the lead by over a second. And I have my handfuls to pass him, you know. Oof! Well, at least it's not only me who stuff like that happens to. Yeah, I think there's definitely probably an advantage actually keeping second there. Putting in car in second. Oh, this lap I was definitely faster than him. He's made a few mistakes that really made me able to catch up. Oh, he's right there. Woo! And we know what happened first race, and what's probably gonna happen this race again. And that is, he's gonna build his pace back up, he's gonna start charging me in the second half. And it's gonna get really interesting how it ends this time. We definitely have to slightly brake earlier, these tires. Oh fuck. Doing the gear change there is not particularly great. Doing a double gear change there. Perhaps just bouncing off second gear might make more sense. Well, I'm gonna try out the delta for third gear for that corner. See if that makes sense. I mean, we're slower now with the street tires for there, so. he is close back in now. This time. Shift or straight still, yes. Good. Oh yeah, definitely. I think that's 1.5 tenths there, for sure. That third gear. And he slides his car very aggressively through those hairpins there, which makes him relatively quick. That was a missed apex from me. He's just all over me already. Free tires help him more than me, funnily enough. On a bit of time there. He had exhaust popping. I feel like Jeff Jones is slightly closing in on us. Yeah. Yeah, he is actually closing in. He's lapping 49.5s right now. So this could just change into a freeway battle for the lead now. Due to us being on these slower tires. We broke very early there. And missed my lineup completely. Ooh, very completely. My goodness. I mean, I thought I missed my lineup, but John must have like found some extra slick stuff. Because we both seem to just completely not only mess up that section. But this could actually turn even into a 4-way fight for the lead. Getting very early on the brakes there for me. Well, that was actually a rev limiter. He's really close, but he had a worse exit. That's the only thing. That was a terrible turn one. And he's pretty close right now, so can't afford really making mistakes. Else he can capitalize on them. It's really weird, I just can't drive that corner anymore suddenly. Yeah, this seems to have turned into a 4-way fight for the lead here. Zoom zoom, yes! With the Dorito power. Some Mazda RX7s here. This is the second race, and the guy, me and the guy in second place right now, we both agreed upon to start from the back of the grid, okay, and drive with street tires. While the rest of the grid is on much faster semi-slick tires. We're able to pass the entire group because, I mean, there's 5 people who signed up for this race. But what has happened now is that this is a 4-way battle for the lead now. Oh, the wheel spin there. Good. Oh man, this is gonna turn into such a showdown here. Was not quite sure if I was clear of him. Oh, there was a bit of time lost behind. It's good for me. Have a bit of a break for a moment. Ooh, Jordan was very sideways behind there. Right, 3 minutes 12 on the clock. Not 12, 20. Yes, I can read numbers. Oh, he's really struggling right now. Trying to hold the other guys off. Just invites me to escape here right now. Oh. Right, but we have one more lap most likely. After this one. And while I know the semi-slick drivers will most likely be able to do 49s, I know I'm able to do probably just about keep them in, so although Jordan has salvaged P3 so far, which means it leaves Jeff more or less alone with Alcalto behind him to try chase me down for the final lap. Oh, and it was a really good decision that I put 35 liters into the tank, because otherwise I would run out of fuel on 20 liters. .6 seconds, 1 lap to go. Again, I'm way too early on the brakes there. The third. This is really the section where he can make some ground up. But he's just gonna run out of time to close in. We would have needed more laps. Jordan holding all the field up saved my ass in this case. Well, figures definitely not too easy to drive here. Well then, time is already ticking up. Approaching the line. We've not had enough fuel to do another one. It's tighter than I imagined. And you're just coming in there in a puff of smoke. And I guess, yeah, I guess that was one way to actually produce a good race with just 4 people. Right. Ah. Oh, everybody immediately left. They probably didn't even see my message. But, well, that ends this. What time is it? 3:57, which means I should probably finally get the fuck to bed. I haven't slept in a while, so I have at this point fucked up my sleep schedule to the point that I'm awake at night. Yeah, go figure. And it's become actually my sleep schedule. Not like, oh yeah, I stayed up a few nights too long now, I'm just feeling tired today. No, it has actually become a fucking sleep schedule. Unironically. So that needs to be fixed ASAP. Hello. Okay, I currently have my controllers back. Thank you. Right. Still have the stupid bug here. I guess one solution could be that we enable on this one and disable this. Disable curvature, right? And then just spawn another window of like Discord or something. I can remain in AQ mode or something. And just like store that window somewhere, I guess. I don't know, no matter where, it's just needs to be somewhere stored, so because OVR2 could just bugging out and closing my windows constantly is going on my nerves, and if it's fixed by just like having a secret Discord window, then I guess I'm gonna have a secret Discord window to solve the problem of OVR2 kit. Right. Okay then. Yeah, next race would be Tuesday. Yep. Doing some Aries. Racing some GT4s around, what track was it again? Forgot. Oh, Spa, right. GT4s around Spa. With an M4. For the first time. That's fun. Right then. Bye bye.